man in here.
Yes, let's do it. Let's get the man.
This guy.
Yeah.
The legend.
The legend. We live in a fucking cartoon. That guy. I want to know, your eyes look red. I want to know how you're feeling. Just pour it all out.
I was a blubbering mess about 6 hours ago or so. You guys gotta understand. We haven't really gone to sleep since we got here. We were up at 3 a.m. to get ready for our live stream this morning. We started live streaming at 4 o'clock in the morning. When it came down to kind of read out what was happening on the ground let me back up a minute. We had a friend of ours, Allison Mason, over in London on the ground outside of the Old Bailey, and she came in live to the stream and was like, "Oh, and they're towing my car," and then hands her phone to another activist, who then gets chased all over downtown London by the cops, who were just being absolute brutal fucking dicks to everybody this morning, up until a point, and then they sort of like mellowed out and pulled back. And right about then, we started seeing the tweets from like Mary Kostakidis and Kevin Gostola and Consortium News, Juan Passarelli, the people who were following, from court and live tweeting. And it was Judge Baratzer, against all reason or logic, agreeing with everything in the prosecution's indictment. She agreed down the line with the legal reasons for extraditing Julian Assange. Made up a couple of brand new things on the spot, including this whole deal with the Official Secrets Act of the UK, which had nothing to do with the prosecution. First time it was introduced, while a magistrate is reading a decision, let's introduce new evidence, and okay, I'm going to go ahead and pass a conviction here too. So that was weird. But then she started talking about the prison conditions in the U.S. She started talking about the several days of medical testimony that were so hard for us to cover and listen to and sit through. It was the determination of the Crown Prosecutorial Service and Judge Baratzer that because of the high risk of suicide extradition posed, the high reality of suicide that extradition posed, they should not extradite Julian Assange.
And she also mentioned that the United States prison system, she couldn't rely on it. That's showing you how bad our prison system is, right?
Well, and she noted that Julian Assange would have been placed under special administrative measures, which is something that we've talked about rather extensively on the Free Assange Vigil. But basically what it amounts to, if people aren't familiar with the concept, look up special administrative measures, but know that it just means codified torture. That's essentially what it means. It's more than solitary confinement. It's placing your attorneys, your visitors, everyone connected to your case under a gag order. They can't even mention that you are under special administrative measures. It is absolutely barbaric, and one of those things that makes people with suicidal ideation more prone to suicide.
What do you say to the people that say, well, this is like a catch, right? Like that they're saying, no, why are you guys celebrating? She literally justified everything from the prosecution. What's next, Steve? What's next for the movement, and how do we go about celebrating, but also being careful with, obviously the United States is already saying that they are appealing that decision already. So
you take the win for the day. You take the win for the day. You know that you're going to be fighting the exact same battle tomorrow, mostly. The landscape is a little bit different. We managed to secure a little bit of press freedom today, but tomorrow it starts all over again. The persecution of Julian Assange isn't going away. There will be an appeal to this. That process can take months to years. We don't know how that's going to play out yet. But according to his partner, Stella Morris, they want to fast track this process. They would like extradition to happen and to happen quickly, so that's something that we need to stay on top of. The Free Assange Vigils aren't going away. We might scale back to one a week now. We haven't even decided that far. This is all still incredibly new. Totally not prepared to talk about the reality that Julian won't be extradited in this moment. But we keep at it. We can't. I mean, we talked just a week or so ago. Reporters Without Borders and Freedom of the Press Foundation put out a report saying that attacks on journalists in the United States have increased 1,200% in the last year. It's not as if all press freedom issues magically went away today. Julian Assange's court case didn't even magically go away today. You know, we do have a win out of this. He's not coming here right now. He's not coming here because the U.S. prisons are shitholes that make people want to kill themselves. That's really not something that we can be celebrating. Yeah. But in perspective, this is a huge win for us. It's a huge win for Julian Assange. Wednesday, they find out whether or not he'll be able to get bail. Currently not being charged with anything. Absolutely no reason to keep him in the Guantanamo Bay of the United Kingdom with no charges and an appeal pending. None whatsoever. So we'll be, extra loud about that as well.
Well, thanks, Steve. And let everybody know where they can find you if they don't already know you.
Okay, well, you can find me on Twitter at Slow News Day Show. I have a show that I host called Slow News Day. You can find me over on the Rokfin, and on D Live, and on Odyssey, and also on YouTube if you have to.
Thanks, fam. We live in a fucking cartoon, guys. But this is a good part of that horrible cartoon that we've been living in.